Everybody wants to be happy. Everyone wants to be loved. All of us wish to be healthy. Everyone wants to enjoy life.
Art changes the world. It inspires people to stand up and speak up and support.
It was time, and also between us we were able to.
Welcome to my next capital of Chat with Monica. Today I'm so excited to be chatting to Annalise. We've done one interview already, so there will be a link at the end of the video. But today we are gonna catch up because so much has happened, hasn't it?
Yes, definitely.
And I believe it's important to share the journey as we go along, because there is always something to learn, something to pass on, and get people motivated. So let's do it.
Definitely.
Okay, my name is Monica, and I do my best to inspire the world and people to look after themselves. Our health is the only thing that we cannot buy. We just have to look after it and take care of it. And Annalise is going to tell you her story because you've been through such hard times, haven't you?
Yes.
And it brought you to where you are, and I can see the smile on your face. Yourself that you are happy and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So please do tell us, try in short sort of your story, okay?
Yes, yeah, so I am happy. I think like sometimes hard things happens to all of us, it's just part of life. I think there can be good things that come from those hard things. I don't necessarily believe everything happens for a reason, but I believe that we can make choices to turn it into good things. And it can lead us to better things sometimes. So yeah, I definitely like to look at my journey and just see it as part of life, and that I, face those things and learned lessons along the way as well. I think sometimes we go through hard times to learn some really important lessons in life. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but just short for those of you who don't know my story. 6 years ago, it's not just my story to share, so I'm not going to go into too much details, but 6 years ago, a bit more than 6 years ago, it was like someone took the jar with my life in it off the shelf, shook it like mad, turned it upside down and returned it to the shelf and went, there you go, you and your 2 children now sort out your life on your own. And that was hard. A few weeks after that happened, me and the kids, it was 2 weeks before Christmas, 6 Christmases ago, all 3 of us had chickenpox. At that point, before I realised I had chickenpox, I also had bronchitis. So I think all the stress that I had gone through had knocked my immune system so much that I was just getting ill. So I had a horrendous cough that actually was so bad that I tore a muscle across my ribs. And then my daughter had chickenpox first. And then that was the Sunday evening her first spots were. The Monday my son had some spots, and then the Tuesday I had. Now for anyone who have had chickenpox as an adult will know it's awful. The doctors rang me twice because they knew I was on my own and they needed to make sure I was okay, because you can get pneumonia and all sorts. So I was incredibly ill. And I'll be honest, I got halfway through that week because I had been knocked down so much and I was in such a low, bad place that I sat on the sofa, I cried. Now, I've been living in the UK for over 16 years. It's my home. I'm a British citizen, but I'm originally from South Africa. All my family's still there. A lot of my friends are there. So I sat on that sofa and I cried and I thought to myself, I cannot do this. I can't do this on my own. I need my family. My friends who would normally support me through things like that, they had norovirus, so they couldn't come and see us because she obviously didn't want to give me that as well. So yeah, it was just a hard time. I was completely on my own with the 2 kids, and I was just sat there thinking, I need to move back to South Africa. And that was the first time since living in this country that I felt I wanted to go back to South Africa. I can't live here, even though this is my home. I see this as my home now. But I got through that week. And then at the end of the week, I looked back and I thought, I got through this. I can do this. I can. But as it went on, I had a couple more knockbacks. Things just kept happening. And I got to a point where I thought, what have I done wrong? Why is this? Why am I being punished for? But I think, and again, I'm not going to go into too much detail with that, but you know from doing the introduction to counselling training with me, that
Yes.
it's a natural thing for us to go to, is thinking, what have we done wrong? When it's not necessarily. And it's hard, isn't it? So I don't know, what do you think about that? It's natural, isn't it, that we just think...
It's kind of like the first thing you do is that. You look at what I've done wrong.
Yes.
But then the way I kind of discovered it is later on, it shows the real reason why it all happened.
Yes, definitely. Totally agree. And you know what? I think this is why I make certain choices in my life. I choose to treat people with kindness because, and I try my hardest to always make really good choices, because our choices that we make, our actions, our words, no matter what we think, yes, it's our choice to do whatever we want, but we have to remember our actions and our choices affect other people in their lives. So sometimes other people make bad choices and it affects us, because that's what happened to me. Someone else's bad choice affected me and my kids so much. But I got to that dark place where I felt, oh my God, this is just, you know, not happening for me. And a really good friend of mine, Jo, she came over and she said, let's sort out your wardrobe. Let's have a little clear out. So it's like a metaphor for clearing out like the old and getting rid of the old and starting new.
Clear the mess.
Clean the mess, exactly. And she came into my bedroom and I remember her stood there looking around. She went, right, let's open the curtains, because it was in the middle of the day. I always had my curtains closed. And again, it was a bit of a metaphor. My life felt so dark and so lonely that that's what my room represented. It showed how I felt. I didn't just have the curtains closed. I had cardboard boxes in to black out the light. Sorry, that makes me a little bit emotional.
No, that's great. That's great. That's what we do, isn't it? When we get into that dark place, everything inside us is telling us we have to stay there.
Yes.
So it's really hard to fight it and to get over it and get out of it, to open the curtains and actually live again, isn't it?
Exactly.
So angel coming in your friend.
Yes. So she opened the curtains. She went, right, let's sort out this wardrobe. Let's think how we can get you to start fresh. And she said, I think what you really need to do is this room needs to become your haven. It needs to be your place of peace and, you know, just where you feel good. She said, get yourself some new bedding, get some new pictures up on the wall. Promise me every day, every morning, you're going to open these curtains and let the light in. And I did. We also sat down, we sorted my wardrobe out, because at that point I had lost everything. I had even lost my child mining business. I then started to do sort of like, you know, nanny work, just part-time for different families.
Can I stop you just for a second? Because I want to hold on to what you were saying. Your friend made you to let the light in.
Yes.
How did it feel to start with for you? What kind of feelings were going on in your body?
Well, it was like, when she suggested it, it was a little bit unsettling, obviously, because that became sort of my, in a weird way, my comfort, even though it wasn't comfort. It was actually awful. It was almost like I was punishing myself, keeping me stuck in that place. But you know, losing everything and not having any money, I also didn't do anything for myself at all, because I was holding on to every penny, thinking I need to protect what we have left and make sure that we don't, you know, end up on the street or, you know, anything like that. So I was being very careful not treating myself with anything. And when she suggested to get myself some bedding, it was like, oh, but, and she's like, no, you need to do something for you. So when I followed that advice, because she also said to me, what would you like to do for you, that's just for you, that will make you feel better? And I said, you know, I used to really like exercise. I love going to the gym, working out, that kind of thing. I'm just not very motivated to walk into a gym and work on the machines. I need like groups. I need exercising with other people. And she said, why don't you have a look and see what you can afford? I was like, I can't afford it. I can't spend that money. And she's like, how about we just focusing on doing it for a month, just for you. We see what you can sell that you don't need anymore. And it was quite funny, actually, how it worked out, because when we were sorting the clothes out, in some of my purses and old handbags, and even in some of my old jacket pockets, we found £5 here, £2 there, a tenner. In one of the handbags, I found £20. And we ended up having enough money for me to buy new bedding and to sign up to a 2-week fitness challenge at a local studio. And that place there is where it started. And do you know what? The minute those curtains opened, I suddenly felt that warmth of the sun, of the light, and it was just such a magical turning point in my life. And I remember my first exercise session I went to, I just felt different, and it was amazing because my kids could come with me and they sat there watching me. And it was like they knew, and I think I said this in my last interview, it was like they knew that's what I needed. And for that 30 to 45 minutes, they just let me have me, let me be me. And I went 5-6 times a week because it just made me feel so much better about myself. It gave me all those happy hormones. Definitely. And it became sort of like an idea of, if I can be physically strong, I can be mentally strong. And it's not completely true. I learned that, over time, especially when I found a different fitness style that I mix, that's quite a good complement to anything you do, whether it's running, whether it's cycling, whether it's heavy weights, whatever you do, it's a really good complement. And it's called ZUU, Z-U-U, because it really pushes you to your limits, and sort of it teaches you to become, it takes you to a place. So say, for instance, one of the things I did a devil mud run, which was so hard, and there was monkey bars, and I wanted to do those monkey bars. And when you're facing a challenge and you're telling yourself, I can't do this, it's too hard, and the mental talk starts to happen in your head, and then you push on and you start changing that mindset, and you say, I can do this, I will do this, and then you do it. That feeling of achievement once you've done it is just, and that's where you build the strength to physically do it, but you also having to build the mental strength to do it. And I think that's where the mental resilience and stuff come in, where you then become stronger to face everyday challenges, because you've put yourself in a better place in life, where you're healthy because of eating well, and you're giving your body the nutrition it needs, so your immune system is nice and strong. You've exercised to give yourself those happy hormones, which put you in a better frame of mind. So we're all going to be, life is always going to knock us down. We're always going to have days where we are going to feel sad, we are going to feel low, especially if we're tired or we haven't eaten great. All of those things will still affect us, but you're in a better place because you live a healthier lifestyle. And that joining that exercise class at Studio Fit, which is in Cheltenham, they've expanded and they opened one in Gloucester. And this is actually, I'm just going to go on to it because I think it does link with it. I remember standing in that studio after the 2-week challenge, and I then managed to make sure I joined, and I went there for quite a few years, actually. A few weeks in, I stood there in the studio looking around and thinking, this is what I want. I want a place like this that's mine, because I want to change lives like this. I get goosebumps thinking about it. Like this have changed my life.
I do.
Yes. And it didn't happen straight away because I didn't have the money. I didn't have the resources. But that's where which we talked about in my previous interview, One Fit Mama became into my life, because I wanted to find something I could do around fitness that helped people. And when I found One Fit Mama, it was all about postnatal depression and helping mums, to recover their postnatal bodies, but help them when they suffer from postnatal depression to find the light and let the light in, like I did. So yes, go on.
Open the curtains, because it is possible, isn't it?
Definitely. And One Fit Mama still plays and played such a massive role in my life, because I went to the bank because I wanted to buy the franchise, and I went to the bank and I thought to myself, if I can get this loan, being in a really bad position, a single mum, you know, like part-time nanny, so it was tough. And I remember sitting in front of the lady, and she kind of knew bits of what I've been through, and she was sat there and she couldn't get the loan, and eventually she went, I've got one more idea, and I managed to get a credit card for it. Maybe not the most sensible thing, but it was such a low interest rate, it would have been similar to a loan. And I think I was just in the right place at the right time, and I managed to get that franchise, and it became such a big part of my life. The messages I get from people, how I've changed their lives, not just physically, like, look, transformations, the physical transformations with fitness is incredible, you know, but it goes deeper. Even for those people, it goes far deeper. It's a personal transformation, it's a inside yourself transformation that you go through as well, and transforming people's lives, you know, that's my dream.
It's a lot, isn't it? And it's a blessing that you can be passing it on. Listen, Annelies, I know you had some real experiences again and some knockdowns last year, I think. So can you share a little bit about that with us?
Yes, so, you know, over the last 6 years, lots have happened. You know, I've met a partner, and, you know, I'm now got someone else in my life as well, and he's, you know, he's great, and, you know, we're a little family again. But obviously life is still throwing knockdowns, and yeah, so obviously lockdown happened, which is a massive shock for all of us. And, you know, don't get me wrong, it's affected some people in really positive ways. It's even affected me in some positive ways. But it's not easy for anyone, really. And when lockdown happened, and I want to call it knockdown because it was a bit of a knockdown, when lockdown happened, obviously everything changed. And, you know, suddenly I couldn't run my classes. And I was like, oh my God, what was I going to do? But I think, you know, you just become proactive and creative and went virtual. And for a long time I actually wanted to launch something online anyway, and I always made excuses for not to do it. And sort of lockdown forced me to suddenly start running things virtually. So all my classes went on, you know, on Facebook and Zoom, and it was great. We could stay connected, we could see each other, I could keep encouraging people. And I thought to myself, this could go even bigger. So I've launched an online website as well. So that I call it my little fitness tree. I've got little branches. So, you know, I launched ClassFit, which is Be ClassFit at home. So you get to do the type of exercises and workouts that we would do in a class environment, but you get to do it at home. And the website just gives you lots and lots of tips and ideas, and you know, it even shows you how you can work out whilst you're on holiday and things like that. But so yeah, that sort of lockdown made me do that. So that was a great positive. Yeah. But then, as if lockdown wasn't enough, September, when the kids went back to school and we could just come out of lockdown, well, it was eased enough that I could launch all my classes again. So in August, I launched one foot buggy classes. So it's coming with your pushchair and exercising. So we found a way that we could do exercise outside. Still,
that is absolutely brilliant. I've seen it on your page, and it's just absolutely wonderful. You know, it's not an excuse that I have a buggy in front of me. You know, let's use it.
Yes, exactly. So perfect. But then I had another knock, and it was 2 days after the kids started school, and it was on a little country lane. Not going to go into too much detail, but it was a head-on collision on a single track road with a van. A big delivery van. And even though I had come to stop, you know, it was still a big impact, because obviously a bigger vehicle coming head on into me with you know, a heavy load as well, so there's more force. And
you ended up in hospital, didn't you?
Yes, so the ambulance had to take me, and I remember, and the paramedics, they were amazing. I mean, fair play to you know, any key workers, but the paramedics were so good, because all I was worried about in that time, I was like proper pain. I couldn't move much, and so worried because obviously neck injuries, you just get scared, don't you? And all I was worried about is I'm supposed to be running 2 classes in an hour. No, those mums are going to turn up in the field and I'm not going to be there. What am I going to do? You know, that's what I was panicking about. Those mums with their babies and their pushchairs turning up for class and I'm not there. And then I was like, oh my God, all the other classes I'm supposed to be launching back inside now, you know. So I just started to like think, and I was like, I'm busy building an online website as well. I need to record all these videos, you know. And this lady, bless her, she's like, don't worry, it will work out, you know. And she was trying to just get me not to think about all those things, I guess. And again, you know, sorry?
You think that at that time you were sort of aware of the fact that you were putting everybody else in front of you again?
Yes.
Because it was your life that it was about, right? But you were worrying and sort of in that space like, I've got to do this.
Yeah.
And
that's totally the thing. I had become the person who, the way I cope with stress, I'm always busy, I'm always rushing, I'm always doing things for other people, I'm always looking after everyone first. So yes, it again, lesson to be learned, because it forced me to stop, which is kind of what lockdown did as well. I mean, at first it was like fix mode, make sure that I can do this, but it also, lockdown allowed me to stop, go for long walks with my kids and enjoy the sunshine, you know, like it just, yeah, it taught me lessons about slowing down, thinking about me for change as well. And that's exactly what, because then once lockdown eased, I didn't keep that mind frame of, okay, take some time for me. It was like, right, now back to business, we need to do this. And yes, the car accident kind of made me stop because I couldn't do the exercises. I had to take a break. And I'm lucky enough that my partner is zoo trained as well. So my 2 evenings and Saturday morning class, he kept running for me. One of my clients, I've been doing One Foot Mama with me for so long, and she's done the zoo training and stuff as well, that I would do the video, but she would demonstrate the exercises for me. So I guess I'm really lucky being surrounded by people like that. And the mums are very understanding. Exactly. So I had to stop most of my classes, but the virtual could carry on a little bit. Obviously, I stopped it for a week because we all kind of had to just get over everything that had happened. But then, you know, I managed to carry on a little bit with the virtual. The other classes had to wait a good month before I could launch it again. And then, of course, it could only launch for a month, and then we had to go into lockdown again. So, yeah, there's been lots and lots of things like that. But do you know what? Something really incredible and amazing has come from this, because after the accident, that October, I actually discovered, now, if you guys remember, I said about the studio I joined, Studio Fit, and it was the place that I stood in and thought, I want this. I want something just like this. I want the same philosophy, everything. It's so in line with what I believe and feel that I want this. And yeah, I got contacted in beginning of October to say the one in Gloucester was up for sale, and I was like, oh my God, you know. So I didn't know what to do, and I was like, I want this so bad. And yeah, and
I feel like you know, it doesn't matter how old we are, but always when something like this happens, we are like little kids, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna get a cookie.
We always look at our children, actually, when they get excited about the smallest thing, and my family go, really? And I go, no, do you not want to be like that, to be able to feel that excited about small things in life? So yeah, it was like a child getting so excited about something new they just discovered or something new they just experienced. That was the kind of excitement the minute I stood in that studio thinking I could potentially own this. Of course, there was lots to get through because, you know, the time we're in, it's maybe not the best decision to suddenly start a new business that's going to be shut in lockdown. But it was also because of the time that we are in that I could get it at a slightly smaller price, I guess. And I went to a company for a startup loan, and had to get creative. And again, I said to myself, if this loan is approved, then it's meant to be. Then this is the road, the path that I need to take. And I remember when I got the email that the loan was approved, my poor partner, I literally jumped up into his arms. I was like, oh my God, it's so yeah, it's just, so lots of good things have come from lockdown as well. And I think this is what we were trying to say, like things just lead to different things, and sometimes things don't work out, and it's just part of life. It's not because we're being punished, it's maybe someone made the wrong choice, or they could have made better choices, but then other things wouldn't have come from that situation. And I think, I don't know, I just think exercise actually played a massive role. And I want to lead on to this before we finish, because I think exercise, look, it's great how it can make you look. And the fitness industry has become a little bit about that, hasn't it? Like, get the six pack, get the body, get the perfect body, get the bikini body. It's all about how you look. And I think we forgot along the way that exercise isn't actually about how we look. It's an added bonus, and it's one of those benefits that you get from it. It can completely change the way you look. But what we forget is that exercise is actually about our well-being. It's about how we feel. It's about our physical and mental health. It's about, making our muscles strong and healthy to do everyday tasks. It's about making our cardiovascular fit enough and healthy enough that we can get up those stairs without getting out of breath, that we can run after our kids in the park without getting too out of breath or thinking, I can't do this, I can't keep up with them, and I think that's what we forget. It's about giving us better mobility. It's about moving. It's about how we feel, not just how we look. It's about building your immune system. Exercise and eating healthy, it's a balance. It's not, you can't have cake, you can't have alcoholic drinks. It's not that. It's just finding the balance, feeding your body with good nutritional food that will fuel it, to give it the energy, to make it strong and healthy alongside exercise, so we can fight off viruses like COVID. It's as simple as that. Not just COVID, any illness. If you are fit and healthy, your body's fueled, you aren't stressed too much, because look, we're all going to get stressed at times, but if you just stay in that dark, stuck in that place, you are knocking your immune system. And so if we can just exercise and have a balanced diet, not fairly healthy, bits of treats as well, but as long as a big part, 80 to 90% of your diet is a healthy, wholesome food that fuels your body and builds your immune system, and you exercise, we stand a better chance at fighting of not just illnesses but stress as well. We'll cope better with it.
Exactly.
So I just think that's what we need to take away from this, because also this is something we talked about this, didn't we? Like, lockdown can be our excuse, or it can be our reason, and that can be with anything in life. Like that dark place I was in, everything that happened to me, it easily was my excuse for shutting the curtains and just staying in a dark place. Or I could have found a reason and made it my reason to become a stronger, better, fitter, healthier me.
And happier.
And happier. Don't forget the happier, because that definitely...
Absolutely. Well, look at that smile on your face. It speaks for itself, And of course, we don't feel it at the time, but it is exactly what we do at that time, making it either your excuse or a reason to actually keep moving forward and find other ways. So that is absolutely brilliant. I love it. I mean, you just said everything that, we needed to share with the world, which is just beautiful. And I think the biggest lesson really is what you just said, because, you know, people can either find those excuses and not do anything and then just fall down and stay there, or people can find the reasons and keep moving forward and keep their eyes open. What's next? Come on, let's enjoy life. We only have one.
Yes.
So
Because,
absolutely
you know,
brilliant.
it's so true, because the amount of transformation stories I have seen during lockdown where people have transformed their health, their fitness, all of those things during lockdown, because they said, okay, lockdown can be my reason for putting myself first, for making myself healthy again. And I think that sometimes we have to be selfish and we have to do things for us, because when we take care of us, it gives us the energy, the strength, and the ability to then take care of others. Because if we don't take care of us, we can't take care of others.
Man, I just love it. I mean, seriously, that's an applause for that. Like, you know, I couldn't say it any better, and it's 100% true. So for everyone who's watching, take all the words that Annalise said in, work with it, and then act on it. Because if we're going to listen to it and then do nothing, nothing's going to happen, is it?
Definitely. It's all about the action. You have to take, and the first step is the hardest. Once you've done that first step, and it's just sticking with it, staying with it. Yes, there's days you're going to fall off, but getting back on, that's the important bit. Not staying off that wagon. Get back on.
Brilliant. Annalise, thank you so much. It was just wonderful what you shared with us. I'm so happy where you are.
Thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. It's been great chatting to you again. It was lovely to see you again and catch up. So yeah, thank you for having me. Brilliant.
Perfect. You're very welcome. Thank you everyone for watching. I really hope you got something out of it. Take everyone who can inspire you and look up to them, learn from them, and then take it into your own lives, because at the end of the day, everyone lives our own life. That's it, you know. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Once more, thank you, Annalise.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Take care for now and stay all healthy and happy.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.